Hello viewers, my name is Kaushal and with us we have Pratiksha Mahajan. We are the students of Chitkara University. Today we are privileged to have with us a prominent personality in the field of human resource, Mrs. Namrata Gill. And thank you ma'am for joining us today. It's wonderful to have you here. And
Pleasure is all mine.
yes.
Okay, ma'am. So, the first thing that we'd like to know is that as you are initially qualified as an engineer, so what inspired you to shift from engineering to HR? How this shift happened?
Actually, it wasn't a conscious choice so much. I didn't plan to be in HR. In fact, I was an MTech gold medalist and I thought MBA doesn't teach you a skill. For most part of my life, I thought MBA doesn't teach you a skill. It's purely a common sense. And if you need skills, you do engineering or you do sciences, right? So for majority part of my life, I thought like that. And it was in ITC. I was heading the learning center, which was mainly technical, absolutely loving it. One day I was reporting into chief technology officer. So one day my boss comes to me, the managing director, not my boss. So he comes to me and he says, "Hey Namrata, CTO has resigned. In the interim, could you work with HR?" I told him no. And I was very reluctant, but I had to do it, report into head of HR. And that is where the love affair with HR started and it never stopped.
So what is the biggest lesson that you've learned in your professional journey or personal life that you'd like to share with us?
Three lessons that always stay with me. First is hustle. That means you have to work hard. No matter what you do, you need to work hard. There's no substitute. There are no shortcuts. There's no substitute for that. People who do smart work, no. You have to apply yourself and you have to work hard. Second learning is putting organization before you. So it is like organization first, my team second, me third. The moment I put myself above, I don't. The third lesson is I believe I start with trust with people. I trust people first. So I know you are lying to me. I'll still trust you. I start with a trust and it works beautifully after that. It has helped me work through cultures, whether it's Africa or Brazil. All people start with trust. And the biggest lesson I can say is all human beings are the same. So this is like, I never believed it till I started working with different nationalities, different races. Now I absolutely love it. All human beings are the same.
Nice. As you know that these days everybody is so vocal about work-life harmony, and especially after the pandemic. So what are your thoughts on it?
Strangely, it's going to be very controversial. I don't believe in work-life balance. I don't think you get a work-life balance at any point of time in your life. You don't get it every day. You get it in totality. You get it, there's some peaks and there's some troughs. But you're striving for a work-life balance every day or a weekly basis. Maybe it comes on a quarterly basis. So it doesn't come every day. But I always ask people, right? So either you're exercising or you're pursuing a great passion. But if you're not working, what are you doing? Okay. So I would rather work than binge watch Netflix, right? Which I must admit I do or not, still, right? But I think if I'm not working, what am I doing?
Exactly.
And if you have a good answer to that, then strive for that. But if you're not working, if you're doing nothing, recently I'm trying to learn the art of doing nothing. Like, what is it like to do nothing? It's very difficult.
No.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Okay, just another add-on for this same concept. These days, the concept of hybrid work from home, this is also a lot into mind.
Yeah. So I was all for working from home and hybrid. I loved sitting in my shorts and t-shirts all day long and working, right? But of late, I have realized the importance of collaborative workplaces. I have realized the social importance of work. So, social importance of work is when you get dressed up, you go to work, you meet people, you talk to them, you learn from them. So, I think in a way, you should be flexible if you need it, not because it is your right. It's still a privilege, right? And you should do it when you need it. But come to work. I think come to work, you learn a lot from peer learning. I was telling you an MBA class the other day, right? that the learning doesn't come from classroom, learning comes from peer. And I feel peer learning gets greatly compromised if you don't have face to face interactions. You don't do virtual marriages, virtual romances, virtual relationships, right? All of us believe in real relationships.
Yes.
And similar is work. Work is also social.
Okay, great. So, what is the biggest regret or the difficult decisions that you have taken in your professional journey, or that you would like to share that has been very difficult for you?
I the gravitas that you carry with your person. So I think the biggest regret is not using my humor, being too serious. After I turned 45, I realized the power of humor. So I should have used humor a lot. I also took myself very seriously and my work very seriously. It was not needed actually. I would have just as well just as did. I think investing in good relationships, investing in good mentorships. I think these are things that I missed out on the way. I think the biggest thing that I learned is being mobile. So I moved from Roorkee to Kurukshetra to Mohali to Bangalore to Netherlands, came back to Mumbai for a while in Pune, then now in Hyderabad. So it just taught me a lot. I should have been more mobile earlier.
Okay.
Yes. I think that is something that I missed out. I also think um I missed out on learning more. I was doing more. I should have learned more, I think. I just
We'd just like to know that as you have gone through so many universities, you have taught so much, right? So we would like to know as Chitkarians that what is something that you find different in us that we are having, and that is something unique that got your, attention, that this is something.
So I'll talk about the present. I'll not go in the past. What I noticed recently, I noticed more curious people. Your class is more curious. They have this curiosity to learn more, the hunger to learn more. I also think there's more courage to say what you want, to say, ask a question, to tell this is wrong, this is the way it should be. I think it's very unique. The third thing I noticed is that there's a hunger settling in. The people are more aspirational here than they are before, which is really nice. I love people when they're hungry, they're aspirational, they want more. Even if it's wealth, it's okay, but they want more. And I think there's a little bit of professionalism seeking in. It's not like people are coming too late. They're quite good. And in fact, I was pleasantly surprised by both curiosity, value, and respect. I think respect is the underlying foundation. It was really nice.
So we are exploring our potential.
Exactly.
Okay. So just another add to this. What you learned from Chitkara? Anything that that's your takeaway?
I was so small incidents that left a little bit. So there's a girl came to me and she comes from nearby town or a village and she came to me and she said that I'm a little late, and she was like a minute or 2 minutes late. She said actually there are 12 people in an auto and the auto doesn't go and there were only 11 people and we kept waiting for the 12th people. And it is cold, right? And in the morning it's 6-7 degrees. Imagine coming from a village or a nearby town in an auto with 12 people. It made me realize that if you have hunger to learn and if you want to do it, you will do it. And it's not easy. And in my mind, I was imagining that curiosity to become something in life, especially for women. I'm so surprised. There were more women in my class. So that was really nice. So I think that incident left a mark for me. Also, I think the class is very diversified in the sense there's a player here. There's a guy who's little more, what should I say, not so worldly wise, and the whole team carries it with him. I noticed you don't give up on each other, you take each other along. So I think there's a lot of camaraderie. It was very endearing.
So I'd like to ask, being a professional HR and, visiting faculty member in different institute. How do you manage both things, like teaching and doing things in professional life?
There's a very there's a an angle to it. So the angle is that we think we have to contribute. This is something we are here. So a lot of human beings have children, right? And when you have children, and if you ask people why do you want to have children, so one is for social reasons because everybody has children and children come and children go. But there's another reason for having children. People want their legacy to continue, or who will look after me in old age, right? I think I think a lot of people when they're intellectually inclined, they have children because they want to leave world in a better place, right? So if you want to make world better, and if you're so selfish that you just keep on earning money and buying clothes or going to movie, there's more to life, right? If you don't explore it, you don't feel happy. It's very selfish. I'm doing it for my own happiness. I feel really happy. I feel rejuvenated when I came here. I'm a happier person when I'm going back. So I think I'm doing it very selfishly, and I'm also doing it for my own learning. What is our institutes today like? What is happening there? What do people teach? And when I come, and I also realize how little I know. I need to know more. I need to be better prepared. So I don't think I did a wonderful job. I think I need to do better as a teacher. So it makes me evaluate.
So, just a curious and a little bit personal question, that being a mother, being an engineer, and an HR professional, how all this has made a perspective in your career, in your life, how this all these things are working.
I'm very glad that I'm busy because if I was not busy, I would have really interfered with my son's life. So I think in a way I give him independence because I have a lot of things to do. And uh, I just think working mothers make the best mothers. This is a theory that I have because your children grow up to be very independent and sometimes too independent. Yeah, you think they've just eaten before you, they've made food before you. So I think I didn't go through a lot of guilty phase. I went through a phase where money was scarce and I had to run around and make sure I couldn't afford a help. So my son had to be with himself. I would call him very often. So that was a very difficult phase. Uh, I think there have been a lot of struggles and they continue now. It's not like there's a bed of roses, my son is doing well and I'm in wealth. No, no. I think a career, especially a career in human resources, makes you more self-aware. And I think makes you think about life a little more than a career in finance or marketing would have done. So I think it made me more grounded, more humble, right? It also made me think a lot more about the world and myself. So I don't know if I answered your question.
What is it that you do in your free time that is productive and that you encourage to us to, follow up to that?
I was talking to you earlier. I enjoy, so I'm trying very hard to meditate and focus more. I'm not a very focused person. I'm a very distracted person. Anybody can distract me here or there. So my attention span is really low and I can't listen well. So I'm working on myself so that I become a good listener, a good human being. And I am starting to meditate 11 minutes a day. I am not very religious, but I'm trying to be spiritual. So that is one thing I'm doing. I'm also trying to explore social media. So I tried LinkedIn for a year. So I got like more than 1 lakh followers. I was thinking, what the hell? If idiots can write, can't I? Oh, okay. Then I got a really good following. Then I thought I should go to Instagram. I started Instagram, but then the whole office started following. Then I was like, no, this is not working out. At my personal life was out there.
Exactly.
So, but I want to learn about the whole media part of it. That is something I want to learn. And I want to do a stand-up comedy. So I keep watching a lot of, I love Trevor Noah. So, and I also like the Gill guy, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So I even like Vedas. So I'm like exploring different comedians. I want to do a stand-up comedy. A lot of people after my life to write a book. I'm thinking about it. I should not. I want to start my own company in 2 years when I turn, no, 1.5 years when I turn 60. So I want to buy an aeroplane with the earnings of that company.
That's great.
So a lot. I'm too busy. And I strongly believe that your weekends are what define you. If you can work on your weekends and plan for your future, because every day gives you no time to plan for the future. So weekends you sit down and plan for the future. If you waste your weekend, your future goes.
So continuous learner.
Grow. I want to grow.
What is the last thing that you want to do in this world? I mean, like last thing in your HR profession and in this field that is not in your list.
So I don't know if it is the last thing because I will do continuously. I live most of my time in Europe these days. I want to learn few languages and speak them fluently, especially German and Italian. So this is something that I'm going to do in next 2-3 years.
A little bit more curious, as you just said that you are right now living in Switzerland. Which country or which city or which state is your favorite? And I mean, like where you want to settle down?
I don't want to settle down, but I love Japan. That's my favorite place. I think people are nicer. The culture is so good. It is so respectful. It's so beautiful. And it is such a nice place. It's the best place in the world.
What should we learn from that culture?
So I think respect, politeness, cleanliness. And they're very inclusive. They don't make you feel like, okay, they're racist. No, not. When I got down at the airport, I thought I'll take the train. And Japanese train station are like 20 floors, right? They're very confusing and they're very elaborate train station. So once I asked a person for directions, he walked a kilometer up, down. He helped me buy a ticket. Then he went in the train with me and dropped me to my hotel. So like 80-year-old man. Which culture does that? It's amazing.
We need to also adapt and change,
Yeah.
right?
And what is your takeaway from here, and what is the message that you would like to share with the students of Chitkara University?
I think I was somewhere in Italy when the whole class schedule was decided. And I was like, I can't teach for 5 days. How will I survive for 5 days? I'm not. And all doubts started coming all around me. And I thought it's too late to get out of it. I was also looking forward to it in such a way. So, and I had such a lovely time. So I think the first takeaway for myself is I can do hard things. We can do hard things. It's a very simple one-liner. It's a poster in my room that we can do hard things. So that is first. I think my message for students is to have more general awareness. Because you are so enclosed and this campus is a little far away, though the campus authorities try a lot, but I think the general awareness, right? Know what is happening in the world. And the world is, yeah, exactly. World is much bigger than Haryana, Punjab or India. What is happening in the world is very important because what may affect you may not be even here today. So, and stay hungry.
This is the end of the conversation. A great note. Yes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us, for having this conversation. It was a great time having you. And keep coming, keep learning, keep teaching. We just loved having you here.
I loved our conversation. I don't even know how it flowed. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much.